E.N.D here. In Magic, casting spells is crucial, but casting more than one spell can even be more important. On Tarkir, everyone knows this well. With countless dragons and khans waging war, a single spell is rarely enough to survive the battle. And Tarkir Dargonstorm introduces the perfect mechanic for those that cast more than one spell. Flurry. Flurry is an ability wield, and each Flurry ability has a different effect. Each Flurry ability is a triggered ability that triggers whenever you cast your second spell in a turn. Very important, in a turn, meaning you can trigger Flurry abilities even during your opponent's turns. Flurry rewards players who keep the spells flowing. Whenever you cast your second spell in a turn, Flurry triggers, unleashing powerful effects that can turn the tide of a battle. But how do you play Flurry? Let's build our battlefield and let's cast Devoted Duelist. Devoted Duelist is 1 and 1 red with Flurry. When you cast your second spell each turn, this creature deals 1 damage to each opponent. Any creature spell with Flurry, it's a normal creature spell, therefore when casted, it will go on the stack. There can be a counter, there can be a response, nothing happens, and the Devoted Duelist will hit the battlefield. During each turn, whenever you cast your second spell, Flurry will trigger. In my case, since I have already cast my first spell, Devoted Duelist, a simple shock is enough to trigger Devoted Duelist Flurry ability, dealing 1 damage to each opponent. On any turn, whether mine or my opponent's, whenever I cast my second spell, Devoted Duelist, Flurry will trigger again, dealing another 1 damage to each opponent. Some notes: Flurry triggers whenever you cast your second spell in a turn. It doesn't matter what happened to the first spell, it may have resolved or been countered, it may even still be on the stack. The Flurry ability will resolve before the spell that caused it to trigger. Flurry abilities can trigger only once each turn, and creatures with Flurry abilities have to be under your control to see that spell being cast. They don't have to see the first spell though. If Devoted Duelist is your second spell in a turn, it won't trigger itself, but it can be your first spell as long as it resolves before you cast your second spell. So that's how you play Flurry. It's a very interesting and I believe will become a very popular mechanic. Leave me a comment below what do you think about this new mechanic, and as always, subscribe for my channel for more and more interesting videos about Magic the Gathering and the collectible world. Liliana.